throwback to Rob Zombie's remake Halloween Michael Myers figure from Neca. This review is dedicated to Declend619, D-E-C-L-E-N-D 619. He was one of the gentlemen that wanted to see me do a throwback on this figure. If we have a look at the packaging, now you'll notice that this guy is actually sealed. What I'm using actually for this review, at least for the package end of it, is I'm using the sealed Michael Myers figure that I'm putting up for my challenge, my contest. Not to be confused with Throwback, is my horror movie Throwdown. I use throws a lot. But this is the figure that you will be winning. So for anyone that's entered the contest, as you can see, this guy is sealed, never been opened, in great condition. And aside from using this guy for this review, this figure will get put away until I'm ready to ship this guy out to the winner of the Throwdown Challenge. So let's get a look at the packaging here. On the bottom here we have Rob Zombie's film Halloween. One thing that's nice about the packaging is in the back here, as I mentioned in the initial video, is that you can see a picture of Michael's face, and Michael's face is actually composed of all these little images from the movie, which I think is really nice. And then on the front we get a clear view of Michael here. It would have been nice actually if they had put like a strip or something here, like, you know, like a border. To me it's a little too open. It would have been nice if they had put something, you know, a little more decorative or something just to add to the packaging here. But on the back of the packaging we get an image of Michael Myers there. And then it says, inside every one of us there exists a dark side. Most people rise above it, but some are consumed by it until there's nothing left but pure evil. Not really much else on the back of the packaging. And of course we've got Neca at the top right hand corner. Neca will also be releasing H2 figures. From what I can tell, it looks like it's the exact same body mold as the initial figure, and then the only thing they've done is they've changed the head. So there you have packaging on this throwback of Rob Zombie's remake Halloween. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my other figure opened up and we will get a closer look at the figure. So stay tuned. And so here we have Michael Myers out of his packaging. Give you guys a close look at the figure here. I have to say, as much as I'm not a big fan of this figure particularly, I thought they did a great job on the sculpting of the mechanic's outfit, I guess, that he wears. Get a good back view here. A lot of detailing. Now granted, the initial Michael Myers figure would have had more so of a blue outfit. In the remake it was more of a brown, which I thought was a good addition, a good update. I also like the mask in the remake from Rob Zombie. It's unfortunate though, at least I find, I don't think the mask in this figure, I don't think it captured as well the coolness of the mask. It would have been nice if the hair was ruffled a little bit more on this figure, and I find the paint application is a little, it's not as good, I think, as what it could have been. One other thing I'm not a big fan of, at least in this figure, is the fact that there's an abundance of blood on his hands. Now I know, granted, in the Rob Zombie remake he does get pretty bloodied. I mean, he butchers those poor people, but I don't know, I just find it's too much, at least on the hand. I think it's too red. It would have been nice if it had some blood on it, but the fact that his hands are completely red, it's not really working for me, at least. His accessories, and one thing I never covered off on when I did the initial review, his accessory, one of them at least, is an alternate head. This was the head this was the mask that he was wearing when he escaped. If you ask me, and I've seen the remake I think a couple of times now. I watched the director's cut and the theatrical cut. I thought the theatrical cut was a lot better than the initial director's cut. For those who haven't seen it, and you don't mind the spoiler, obviously in the theatrical cut, Michael is escorted out with, what, 3 or 4 guards, and he's shackled, and of course, Michael breaks his shackles, kills the guards, or I think maims most of the guards, and then escapes. In the director's cut, which I thought made no sense, in the director's cut, these two guards drag in one of the, I guess, the inmates at the sanitarium. This inmate, this girl, they bring into Michael's room, and they proceed to rape her. I don't know, Rob Zombie's big into that, but they proceed to rape her in front of Michael, and Michael ends up killing, I think, one of the guards. Maybe he kills both, and basically just saunters out, walks out of the sanitarium. I think it didn't work for me. I don't know, I just thought, not a great way for him to escape. Certainly with the shackles and everything was a lot cooler. But like I said, he does come with that mask. I don't think I actually took the head off. I don't think I took the head off when I did the initial review of him. So for those who actually wanted to see what he looked like with the mask, give you guys a good look there. It's not bad, eh? I would never have this mask on him. Obviously I'm a big Michael Myers fan, so I would probably just keep the shape mask on him. But in the way of his articulation, he has a ball joint in his head. He has just a swivel in his shoulder. He has that kind of gimp swivel in his elbow. It looks like his hands can rotate. They really can't, though. There is no articulation in the waist, and there is a slight bit of articulation in the foot, but that might only be just the way the figure was designed. His other accessories, he comes with not one, but two different knives. I would probably never have this knife in Michael's hand. I probably would have this one just because, this is the, got a cat hair here, but this is probably the more well-known knife that Michael has wielded. And the only downside I have to the way the hand is sculpted, it's a little harder to get the knife in there a bit. But his other accessories, and I'll move him aside, the problem is he's not going to stand all that well. But he also does come with the Meyers Tombstone, the Judith Meyers Tombstone. And I'll just put him actually to the side here. He does come with the Judith Meyers Tombstone that just takes some mild assembly. You can snap that into place, and then you can take the tombstone and snap it onto the base. Once it's on the base, then Michael at least can stand. I will say on his own, this figure does not stand well at all. Badly sculpted, I think, in the sense that he relies so much on his diorama to stand properly. And as I mentioned with my initial review, it takes a bit to actually get him standing in the base. I wish they either had put articulation in the leg or sculpted it differently, that you didn't rely so much on the base, so much on the diorama for him to stand properly. Do I like this figure? Not a big fan necessarily, and I'll move him aside and I'll bring in the initial Michael Myers. Now this Michael Myers is from the Evolution of Evil 2-pack that came with the young Michael. I'll put those in. I'll bring him in just so you guys can see a comparison here of the remake and then of the initial Michael. Definitely like the initial Michael a lot better, at least figure-wise too. I think the detailing is a lot nicer on the mask. But I mean, that's just a matter of opinion. I know some people really like the remake as well. I will definitely still be seeing Halloween 2, or H2, I think as they're calling it now. But I'll move him aside and put this guy back on the base. And there you go. So that was a throwback to Rob Zombie's remake Halloween Michael Myers. I hope that hit the spot, and I'll see you guys next time.